Tracing versus blocking versus drawing with a reference. Why is one hated, one debated, and one accepted? Well, first we need to discuss art itself. Many people enjoy seeing forms of media showcasing the artist taking a unique approach to a pre-perceived work. Essentially, many want artists to show how they can recreate either nature or what they believe is art. Explaining what art is incredibly difficult, so I looked up a definition, and according to Britannica, art is a visual object or experience consciously created through expression of skill or imagination. The term art encompasses diverse media such as paintings, sculpture, print, making, drawing, decorative arts, photography, and illustration. I personally wanted to explain it in my own words as well, so I explained it as, generally speaking, a piece of media either through photography, dance, theater, music, traditional visual arts, or arts and crafts. There are some forms of art that are debated, but usually art tends to be full of emotion, heart, and soul. It can be a spur-of-the-moment click, seeing the magnificent sky. It could be hours of waiting to take the perfect picture. It could be a trending dance, building community, or years of training for a stage. It could be reading Shakespeare or memorizing his works to perform, or perhaps a musician mixing dance, music, and theater. Perhaps it is music, simple melody, or a complex piece lasting over 12 minutes. Perhaps it is a doodle, perhaps it is pottery, the process of molding, drawing, blasting, painting. Crafts could be embroidery, to crochet, to make diagrams with clay. Either way, all of these are arts. But one I forgot to mention is one of the least used currently: literature. Writing is an art, a beautiful melody. It could be a book, a poem, a haiku. But we can all tell if writing is good or not. So, how with our knowledge of art, why again do we hate one but love the other? Tracing is seen as a form of stealing, but only in certain scenarios. Some gacha communities are notorious for tracing, yet it is not frowned on, as the characters are seen as theirs. The art style is distinctly gacha, and this creates a community of modifiers. These people use the bases, then add smaller details and or highlighting to show their characters. In this instant, tracing is acceptable, though many larger creators are starting to move away from using the gacha characters to trace and edit through apps such as Ibis Paint, and are now instead using the characters as a reference and drawing the characters in detail themselves, following the style. Despite this exception, many see tracing as problematic for two reasons. One, it does not showcase how to draw the style or piece you wish to. If one traces, they are not modifying it, and then it does not have the same value to others as the original piece. Modified or not, it is too similar, and many see it as a bash on whatever was traced. And secondly, you are not learning anything. Tracing only makes you focus on the outline. You learn absolutely nothing about how to draw it. It bothers me the amount of people that are using tracing apps. You aren't learning how to draw, you are simply tracing somebody else's art. Blocking can be similar to tracing, where a sketch is done over the piece. This is a form of training for your brain. In this scenario, you are teaching your brain what shapes are in an object. So instead of drawing simply over the drawing as a line for line art, this would be using shapes and like little diagrams to help you understand the anatomy of the object, which anatomy is kind of a harsh term. It's not necessarily anatomy, it is just the shape of the object. So this type of blocking is often then used in other art pieces without the image underneath, simply understanding the structure that you have now taught yourself. Some frown on blocking, but I personally believe so long as you don't post the blocking as the art that you perceive and produce, like the one that you used the image underneath for, it should be fine. It is a tool for learning. I prefer people using gesture instead gesture or contour, but that is simply me. Lastly, sketching with a reference. Drawing with a reference helps you with detail and proportion. It is a very underrated tool, in my opinion, and genuinely so helpful. Like, you look up from your phone to your reference image, or you look up from your tablet to your reference image, or you look up from your paper to your reference image, for all you traditionalists out there. And you see, okay, so I should modify the pose like this. Oh, the hair is a little wonky here. Oh, that's how the background works. Oh, there's a bit of blurring there. Oh, there's a bit of shading there. Oh, I didn't notice that highlight. And you can modify it a little easier and a little more in detail than you would from just memory. Creating a character, it is very helpful, especially for like posing and stuff, to know how to draw with references. It is a very important skill to learn. From all three, I think references are genuinely one of the most underrated tools in art, despite being wanted, and despite art teachers cracking down and being like, you need art references. They are incredibly underrated in like many art circles. So I want to just tell you guys, you're allowed to use references. Anybody who tells you otherwise is kind of, I don't know, I don't think they know how to do art. I wish you guys the best, and I hope this helped somehow for some of you to understand a little bit about why some are accepted, some are not accepted, and like why you should definitely use references. They are very underrated. Okay, bye.